My name is Ryan Pryor. I teach at Independence High School in San Jose, California. I teach government economics and U.S. history. And I'm a recent 2016 Carlston Award winner. I didn't start out thinking that I was going to be a teacher. In fact, I started off being a high school aged youth pastor. And I was working in a church in Southern California, and I had a small, 40 students in a youth group. And as they would bring their friends to the youth group, I just found myself really enjoying the non-Christian kid. I just felt like they were just real, normal, fun to talk with, fun to hang out with. And my wife one day just said, you ought to think about just being a teacher, because you seem to like those kids anyways. You spend all your time with them anyways, and not the Christian kids. So I thought, okay, that's actually probably a pretty good idea. And so I just went back to school and got into teaching. And it's been a very good fit. I just find myself every single day enjoying the fact that, or just so thankful that I made that switch, because I wasn't placed well where I was at originally, and now I feel like I'm in a spot where, man, this is what I was meant to do. And I bring a little bit of what I was doing to what I'm doing now, and that I'm trying to encourage students, inspire students to be something more than just, I don't know, I keep thinking of this one kid this year. I don't think he has a very long-term plan for himself. I don't think he thinks very highly of himself. So my goal for him this year is to start to think of himself as somebody so much greater than he's ever thought. Because I think that about him. And so I'm bringing that to the table, and that's how I judge my success. Whether he gets an A in the class or not, he's going to be inspired. And down the road, I'll keep track of him. I like to keep track of students, and he's going to be something. Whether he's married, he's working as a mechanic, he's got kids, I'll know that, and I'll be able to judge that, my effectiveness in his life, and that's what I like to look at. I am, in my history classes, I'm a pretty relational teacher. I like to build relationships as quickly as I can with students. I feel that does much to break down the walls that students have built up in, years of traditional classes. I think students are smart. They know that they can sit in a seat, kind of give the Sunday school answer, and get, a pass, so to speak. And so by building relationships, I can kind of get around that. I can get to where students are answering things in a way that is more the way friends would talk to one another. So what I like to do is I set my room up in a way where everyone is sitting in tables, in groups. And in the beginning of the school year, I do lots of questions and talking in small groups, and doing fun things around the table so students feel like they have a voice at an immediate table, interaction with their peers. And before long, they've realized that, hey, I'm talking in this class a lot, and it's okay. And as we move towards more material, historical, whether we're reading something, or we're watching something, or we're discussing a piece of reading, like we've just been reading in the Gilded Age, Mark Twain, reading a quote from Mark Twain. What does this mean? They're more likely to answer because they're so used to talking just kind of relationally. And so I like to build those relationship groupings early on. I think that students feel comfortable and are going to answer in a way that gives them a sense that, hey, I really belong here. I'm really doing something different than my other classes, and I just enjoy that process. What I've noticed in class is because students are feeling more comfortable, they actually do better work. I have a student right now this year who has come into the class. He's a gangster kid and pretty low on credits, doesn't try very hard, and just recently kind of breaking through with the relationship, I've seen him try leaps and bounds further than he's ever tried before. I mean, he's achieving at such a higher level than when he first came in, and I think that that's really because he feels like there is a relationship, like someone cares about him. So I might as well care a little bit more about what I'm doing, and he's trying harder, and he's feeling proud of what he's doing. In my history class, my U.S. history class, we write essays. We don't take any tests. We just write a series of essays. And the first 2 essays he didn't write. And he was going to make it very clear that he wasn't writing them. He sat his pencil down. He just kind of sat back in his desk and had the stern look on his face. Essay number 3 he wrote. And it was an essay about that big. But he wrote something. And we just, on Friday, we wrote our 4th essay. And he wrote a whole essay. And I could see the whole time as he was writing, he kept like looking up at me. And because we had a connection, I could just kind of look at him and say, "Man, you're doing good." And he's like, "Yeah, I know, this is good." And he wrote a whole essay. I honestly don't know how great it was, but it was the best work that he has ever completed in my class. And it was a huge breakthrough, and that's what I'm there for. I'm there for that moment. That makes all the difference to me. And I think that's what teaching is about, is breaking through those traditional barriers that education sometimes sets up unintentionally. But relationships tend to break those down, and I love that. I love being a part of that process.